And this is take 3.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm Pastor Phil, and that's Pastor Janice. We are, and you are, the Divine Fellowship. Welcome, even though we aren't in the building. We're going to go do a walkthrough on the building.
Someday.
Someday
we will.
So people that have been there are going to go, oh yeah, I remember that. And people that have never been there go,
ooh, that's
different.
Yeah.
Hi, Susan, Musa. How are you? And Scott.
And Sandy was here.
I saw Sandy.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yep. Hello.
And Jesus is just all right with me.
Whoa.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
You know, and
I miss our songs.
I do. I did a wedding yesterday. It was actually kind of fun.
Outside.
Yeah, outside. It was my first Russian wedding. It was fun. I liked it. Nice people. But at one point after everything, they played a song, and I went, oh. I turned to somebody, I says, that's a song I play at church. And they go, really? And I go, uh-huh. These are very conservative Christians. So, yeah, they thought it was kind of interesting that we played a particular song that they had. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Oh, we have lots of fun songs.
Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Rochelle. Everybody's there.
Good morning.
All right. Let's get this show on the road. We do have a couple patron saints by the name of John Lennon and George Carlin.
Yay, George and John.
Yay, George and John. And John said, this is a quote.
What did John say?
This is his quote on truth.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstanding all you see. In other words, stay informed, but not just from one source.
Yeah,
Look at everything critically. If you see something that blames somebody else or blames another group of people for the miseries of everybody, you need to really do a little bit of homework and find out what that's all about.
Pay attention.
Yep. And George, the IQ and the life expectancy of the average American recently passed each other going in the opposite directions.
So the stupider we are, the longer we live?
I don't know. I don't even want to...
I don't know. I'm getting old. I don't want...
Yeah.
I can't say much here.
And I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again because I really like it. Hey, Brock. Hey, Brock family. We each have 2 lives. The second one begins when we realize we only have one.
Say that again. I wasn't paying attention.
No, really.
I was trying to read what Brock said.
Rejoice! Truth exists and can be known. Yes. I agree.
See, I can't read that.
We each have 2 lives. Now, can I?
Two lives. Okay, 2 lives.
2 lives.
Unlike cats who have 9.
The second one begins when we realize we only have one.
Oh, well, there's truth to that.
Yes, I like it. It's true. All right. Things that make you go, really? The wise person questions himself. The fool, others.
There's truth to that.
Some truth to that. Don't limit a child to your own learning, for he or she was born in another time. True.
Ain't that the truth?
True. There is no cure for birth and death, save to enjoy the interval.
None of us are getting out of this alive.
Boy, that's for sure. And the last one here is from Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied.
Some men.
Months that begin on Sunday will always have a Friday the 13th. I don't know. Now we'll have people go, I gotta go look, and they'll miss the entire service trying to figure this one out if it's actually true. Well, it has to be true. It's in the book, so it's written. It has to be true. So, Delilah. Delilah's on the floor for a while. True happiness consists not in the multitude of friends, but in their worth and choice. Yeah. You may deceive all of the people part of the time, and part of the people all the time, but not all of the people all of the time. That was Abraham Lincoln.
Go Abe.
Go Abe. Go Abe. Sounds like something ethereal or something. I don't know. Go Abe. Go Abe. Kindness is the golden chain by which society is bound together.
Bring more
like
chains of kindness.
Yeah, more
Links.
chains, more
link,
links.
Link us all together with kindness.
Yes. Why does Superman stop bullets with his chest but ducks when you throw a revolver at him? I always wondered that, but I never actually wrote it down. Somebody else did. Why do kamikaze pilots wear helmets? Whose idea was it to put an S in the word lisp?
I always wondered about that. It's just the stupidest thing ever. Lisp. Why are they doing that?
If people
That's
evolved
just
from
cruel.
apes, why are there still apes? I don't know.
Mm.
Why is it that no matter what color bubble bath you use and the bubbles always come out white? I've always wondered that. Is there ever a day when mattresses are not on sale?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm cold. Anybody else cold? It's chilly
It's
this
chilly
morning.
this morning. Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, this joke that I picked up, and I've done it before, so I think I remember like the punchline, but it's missing.
Oh, no.
So either I stop it right where it stops, which would not be a good idea, because then it's like, okay, so what? I'm going to go with the ending that I seem to remember. So.
Fake it.
Okay.
Go for it.
A mature, over 50 woman gets pulled over for speeding. Is there a problem, officer? Ma'am, you were speeding. Older woman. I was? Oh, I see. Can I see your license? Woman, well, I'd have to give it up. I had to give it up, and I don't have one. Well, what do you mean you don't have one? Well, I lost it 4 years ago for drunk driving. I see. Can I see your vehicle registration papers, please? Well, I can't do that either. Well, why not? Well, I stole this car. Stole it? Yes. And I killed and hacked up the owner. You what? His body parts are in plastic bags in the trunk if you want to see. The officer looks at the woman, slowly backs away from the car and calls for backup. Within about 5 minutes, 5 police cars encircle the car. A senior officer slowly approaches the car, clasping his half-drawn gun. Ma'am, could you step out of the vehicle, please? The woman steps out of the vehicle. Woman, is there a problem, officer? Well, one of my officers told me that you have a stolen car and murdered the owner. Murdered the owner? Yes. Could you please open the trunk of your car, please? Okay, I'll finish it. So, she goes and opens the trunk of the car. The officer cautiously opens the lid, and he peers inside. And then he opens it all the way and he says, well, there's nothing in there. And the woman said, and the officer says, well, did you really kill the person from this car? I mean, the owner? And she goes, well, no. And he says, well, my officer said you did, and this and that and this and that. And she goes, oh, yeah, sure. And I'm sure he's probably going to tell you now that I don't have a driver's license or the registration for this car, or that I was speeding. There's a clue for you.
I have no words for that.
Okay, we're done. Thankfully.
You're
I will have my
done?
cup of coffee. Ooh, you have communion.
That's it.
No phone. I will go get the phone for you.
Okay, and a reheat. Mine got cold.
Here, you want some of mine?
No, I want it hot.
Okay.
Hot. I can have 2 slurps of that.
I will warm it up for her.
Oh, yeah. No, that's making it sweet. Don't do that.
Okay.
I don't like sweet coffee. Unless it's cold sweet coffee. What character? What can I say? I have no words for that. I do want to chat with you today about a couple of things. And then I have a really nice, I think, guided meditation for you. So a few weeks ago, I didn't know where we wanted to go, and we had several requests of where would be a good meditation to go. And one of them, Susan asked for us to go to the junkyard. So I can't go to the junkyard the same place, the same way. So I did a new one. So we're going to go to the junkyard in a bit. So dog is asleep. can't see that, that's okay.
It's on our other favorite couch.
Her other favorite couch. That's just like the other favorite couch. Anyway, excuse me. So I want to start today chatting with you a little bit about how we seem to get caught up in negativity, other people's negativity, our own negativity. Good grief. I'm in and out of that all day long. You know, it takes challenge to bring myself out of slipping into that negative because there's just a lot of stuff going on. Get a drink. So, in order to look at that, it's important for us to notice that we're faced with all kinds of choices all day long. And the choices that are here aren't real obvious sometimes because we feel like we're just being bombarded with negative stuff. And even if we don't feel bombarded with that, it's just in the back of our heads going, you know, that just that fear or that anxiousness or just discomfort because things are not the way they used to be. And whatever they're going to be, we don't know yet. So we don't know what the new normal looks like. All we know is that it's not the same as it was. So there's a discomfort, a disconnect, and that puts stress on our being because we like to have sameness. We like autopilot. We like being able to just count on this is what the day is going to look like. This is what my life looks like. And most of that's changed for most people. Excuse me. So when we get into that, viewing all of that change, the natural response, the human response is negative. It's just what we do. And there's no fault in that. That has kept us alive as a species for a long period of time. It's about noticing what isn't right because that keeps us safe. But unfortunately, in noticing what isn't right, if we're not going to do something about that, then we tend to internalize that and allow that to create discomfort or stress. In the past, if there was something that wasn't right, we could either run, or we could hide, or we could attack, or there were actions that we could take. Now things just don't feel right because our routines are all disrupted. But there's not much we can do about that. And that tends to make us feel powerless. Unfortunately, we believe that to be the truth. And it's not the truth. The other choice besides powerlessness, let me see, I have a list here. Of course, that's not on my list. I have afraid instead of powerless. When we feel that powerlessness, we don't notice the action that we can take. We kind of shut down. And when we shut down, then that creates this cycle of continual shutdown. And in that shutdown cycle, then we don't make really good, positive choices for ourselves and our own awareness and our spiritual awareness, that sacred awareness, that expanded awareness that brings us joy, and brings us peace, and brings us happiness. So if you're feeling anxious, let's start with afraid. If you're feeling afraid, know that there's a corollary to that, an equal and opposite of that, and that's courageous. So just walking through your day, knowing that it's not the same as it used to be, and the way we're familiar with it, that's courageousness. And you get to cut yourself some slack, and you get to cut yourself a little bit of favor here, and bless yourself a little bit. You're more courageous than you know. So allow yourself to have a sense of that. What if you're worried? Because there's a lot of things that worry we get hooked onto because we don't have an answer. We don't know the outcome. We don't know the answer to that. We don't have a response to that. So we worry about it. We fret about it. It's kind of like a dog chewing on a bone. We can't let it go. Well, that's one choice. The opposite choice of that is peacefulness, being at peace with not knowing, allowing it to be unresolved. Well, that's hard, isn't it? Yeah, kinda, until we get really good at it. The more often we move from worry into peacefulness, the faster it is to do that. So when you find yourself being worrisome or worried about something or gnawing at something or having something gnaw at you, don't feed that beast. Instead, feed the peace. We talked last week about finding this peace point and being able to utilize the peace point because it taps us into this eternal, unlimited energy source. And that eternal, unlimited energy source is going to carry us through, which will also bring us courage to have that awareness. So peacefulness and courage, and they feed each other. Now, same way, worry and fear feed each other. So which are you going to feed? Back to feeding the beast. Are you going to feed the beast or are you going to feed the blessing? I hope we're going to feed the blessing. What if you feel isolated? A lot of us are. Good grief. You haven't been anywhere in forever. Hardly. And going someplace like to the groceries, you don't talk to anybody or whatever. So there's a lot of isolation. It feels really stressful. And yet if we can be connected spiritually, that allows us to notice the connections that we have with other people, even whether it's on Facebook or whether it's on the phone or just in our heart. When we are aware of someone, there's a contact there. There's a connection point there, is there not? Have you ever thought of somebody and then the phone rings and it's them? You've had that happen, haven't you? Yes. That's connection. We are far more connected than we think we are. So noticing that connection, being aware of that connection, allows us to move beyond that sense of isolation. So physically, there may not be anybody in my space other than a dog, but at the same time, there's that connectedness. If I think of you, I'm connected to you. If I see your name on the screen as being a participant, I feel connected to you. And that feels really good. The key is being aware. The key is being willing to notice. And not buying into the lie that just because there's no other physical beings in the room that I am isolated, I'm lonely. That's not the truth of it. That's not the truth of it at all. But it feels so true. It feels so real that unless I'm paying attention with my expanded awareness, I'm going to miss it. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to that connectedness. Do we feel resistant and locked up and stressed out about the stuff? There's the other side to that coin is resilience. Look what you've come through so far. My goodness. We've endured a lot of stuff we had no idea how to get through. And here we are. We're getting through it. So there's a resilience of the human spirit that transcends the stuckness of the not knowing or the stuckness of a situation we're uncomfortable with. So tap into that. It's there. It's there. So notice it. Pay attention and allow it to come to you. Allow that awareness of resiliency to express itself in your world. Because it's there. It's part of our journey. Part of who we really are. That rigidity and that lockdown and that shutdown is not who we really are. It's the physical response to the stimulus that we're experiencing, but it's not who we are. And we can change. We can shift. We can make a new choice. How about agitated? It's really easy to get agitated, isn't it? You know, somebody says something, it's easy to get cranky when things are unsettled as they are. So moving into a place of calm. I get to be unsettled and I get to be calm about that unsettled feeling. I get to feel that without having to claim that as who I really am, without having to react in that way. And when I catch myself, then I can shift out of it really fast. And I can move into a place of comforting somebody else or encouraging somebody else or talking it through calmly. That energy is there. I have access to that when I become willing and when I become aware. That higher consciousness is always tapped into that if I allow myself to be aware of it. Then there's that, along with that goes reactive. I get reactive to the circumstances and get frustrated and reactive. Well, the other side to that coin is responsive. There are things that is important for us to respond to. I respond to Phil, and I can react in a snarky, cranky way, or I can respond to him with information and truth and kindness. That kindness is a superpower. And we forget that. We feel like the only way we can keep ourselves safe or the only way we can express ourselves is with that cranky stuff. And that doesn't serve anything. So moving into a place of response from kindness, response, it doesn't matter if he's being cranky or not. I'm not accountable for that. But I get to move myself into a place where I don't react in anything other than kindness. I'm not perfect at that. I'm working on that one. But when I do move into that place where I'm responsive in a kind way, that really helps both of us. It does. So that's the goal. That's the hope here. I can't get there when I'm being reactive, when I'm being triggered by fears and worries and anxieties and all of that other stuff, all that rigidity. I can't come to that place of responsiveness in that state of being. It takes this expanded awareness, and then I can. And I can't always do that right away. Sometimes I have to shift. It's like shifting gears on a car, and sometimes those gears grind a little bit, don't they? But we can still shift. We can still utilize that. And along with that irritation, the other side of that is compassion. We can be compassionate, can we? I am so amazed and so delighted when I hear stories or see stories about people who are being kind to one another and compassionate to one another and going out of their way to be helpful to a living creature, helping a sea turtle get back to the sea. It just warms my heart, doesn't it, yours? Or when you hear about a story about somebody who is really being kind to some other human being, a total stranger, and they're kind to them. Because we as human beings have such a capacity for kindness. We have such a capacity for holiness, but we don't have to go there if we don't want to. We can be compassionate. It doesn't matter if that other person deserves our compassion or not, or has the same political views as us or not. We can be compassionate. It's not dependent upon that other person. It's dependent upon me. It's dependent upon where my heart space is. It's dependent on my open awareness, where I'm focused. And then the compassion can be there. What about dread? Do you have that sense of dread? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to turn out. It just feels dreadful, does it not? Well, the other side of that is hope. We talked about hope before. And the blessing that hope brings not only to our soul, but to our whole experience. Our whole vibratory level changes when we can hang on to hope. And the hope here is that things will be better. And better might be different than we're used to. And we get to be okay with that. We don't have to have the answers. We don't have to know. We don't have to have the final picture of what it's going to be. We can just be hopeful that no matter what happens, we're okay. And that's the truth of it. Hanging on to the truth of that is really vital, is it not? Instead of being resistant to all that change, we don't know what change is happening, but changes are happening and we can be resistant to that. Instead of that, we can be dynamic. We can be dynamic, fluid, change. The future is fluid. It's never been solid. It's always been fluid. The choices we make today change what's going to happen tomorrow. So take a look at that. What are you choosing for yourself? Are you choosing to be in this mindful awareness and embodying these energies that we're talking about? Or are you choosing to allow external forces to drive you to those uncomfortable feelings that are not serving anymore. And the other side of being anxious. Oh, you're not going to like this one, but you're going to love this one. Trust. When we're feeling anxious, it's because we feel powerless. We don't trust that things are going to turn out well. We don't trust what's happening. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust the plan. We don't trust the universe. We don't trust anything. So we feel like being anxious keeps us safe, when all it does is keeps us anxious. So moving into a place of trust. I don't have the answers. You don't have the answers. That political party doesn't have the answer. The other one doesn't have the answers. But trusting that we can take the next right step. Trusting that our journey, our personal journey, will unfold for us in a good way. Native Americans talk about walking their path in a good way. In a good way. You're not asked to be perfect. Just doing what you can do in a good way. And I wish I could read my... Oh, critical. I couldn't read my handwriting though. Critical. Instead of being critical, the other side of that is being encouraging. Oh, that's the key. That's what I want to chat with you about today. Just briefly. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. Therefore, you might want to read what's up ahead of that so you can see what it's there for. But therefore, encourage one another. Build one another up, just as you are doing. We're doing it. We're encouraging one another. Oh my gosh, the interactions between people on the Ancient One study group, it's just phenomenal. We're hoping to open that up when the class has 2 more weeks to go. And when that's done, we'll open that up to anybody that wants to take a look at that study material. But the communication between the people that are involved in that right now is just beautiful. People are encouraging one another, and it's so good to see. When you see one person encouraging another person, you know what that does to my soul? It makes my soul brighter. That encouragement is priceless, absolutely priceless. That's what I'm asking you to do today. I'm asking you to choose to be encouraging to other people. One other verse I want to share with you. I've read this one to you many times before. This is from Joshua 24:15. Choose for yourselves today whom you will serve. Choose. You think being anxious is a necessity? No, it's not. It's a choice. Do you think being afraid is a necessity? No, it's a choice. Do you think feeling reactive and irritated and agitative is mandatory? No, it's a choice. And as we choose these more positive, expanded awareness attributes, we can be encouraging to others. We can't be encouraging to others until we've encouraged ourselves. Now, the verse that I read to you about encourage one another, build each other up, that's right after it talks about putting on the armor, the spiritual armor, breastplate of righteousness, and the helmet of hope. If we don't have that, how can we encourage one another? We can't. So take it on, and you take it on by knowing the truth. The truth of who you are, the truth of what you came here to do, the truth of your existence. So let me read to you these attributes that I hope you choose. And you take on, and you own, because you have a right to them. They belong to you. Own them. Courageous. You are courageous. Peaceful. Connected. Resilient. Calm. Responsive. Compassionate. Hopeful. Dynamic. Trusting. And encouraging. That's what we can do for one another when we claim it for ourselves. And that's such a blessing. That's going to carry us through. That's going to bless us beyond whatever outcome manifests itself for us. We've got this. We're in this together. We've got this. And we've got this when we open our hearts and our minds to this expanded awareness. Now I want to take you on a guided meditation. Excuse me, I have a little tickle. 1 second. So take a moment and just have a sense of those attributes. As I was speaking them, could you feel them activating in your being? I bet you could. I know I could. As those energies activate and you take them on, doesn't that feel good? Allow yourself to feel good. You have a right to that. It's a blessing for you. Now, from that state of courageous encouragement, let's move our mind and our awareness to a guided meditation. Today we're going to return to the junkyard, but this is different, a different journey than we have had in the past. So it may be a totally different junkyard. Whatever you're experiencing is going to be what's right for you. But know that we're going to release something here in the junkyard, and we're also going to be gifted something from this junkyard, a reclaimed, recycled something that will have great benefit for you. So from a place of peace, from this place of courage, from this place of peacefulness and calmness and enthusiasm, allow yourself to find your way to a junkyard. And you get that when you arrive there, you'll notice that there is a gate. The gate that you experience, whether you experience it by seeing it or whether you experience it by choosing it, either way works. If you have the ability to visualize, see what shows up for you and know that it has spiritual significance for you. If you don't visualize well, then choose one and it will have spiritual significance for you. So the gate that you see, is it a wooden gate? Is it a high-tech, fancy security electric gate? Or is it a wrought iron gate, maybe with ornate writing across the top and a big, beautiful gate there? Whatever you're experiencing is what is right for you. Just notice that and choose. Is it a wooden gate, high-tech security gate, or wrought iron gate? As that gate opens, you're met by a junkyard dog. Only this one likes you, so you're not afraid of it. It likes you. Are you met by a wolf? Are you met by a guard dog, whatever breed that might be for you, or a puppy? What comes to you? What do you see? Or what do you choose? Now, whatever experience you're having is what's right for you. A wolf, a guard dog, or a puppy. So you're allowed to come in, you're led in, and you're pointed in the direction of a place to deposit what you came here to leave. Are you directed to unload at a pit, a hill or a heap, or flat area? Know that this has some information for you. Is it a pit? Do you dump into a pit? Do you push things, shove things into a hill or a heap? Or is it just a flat space that you deposit your stuff? Now what you're going to toss out, maybe there's other things that you are visualizing, but here's 3 things that may have spiritual significance to you. Would you toss out a brick, a bag of clothing, or broken furniture? A brick, bag of clothing, or broken furniture? Which do you choose? Which do you see? Which do you experience? So select one and know that it has information for you. Now you're led to another area, and you're led to a place where all of the things that have been deposited here in the trash heap have been recycled, have been repurposed. Do you reclaim an old recording, like an old CD or an old phonograph or something? Some old recording? A statue that's been made out of either gears and parts of vehicles or parts of equipment, or maybe old tires. You've seen those beautiful statues that are made of recycled things. Or a painting that is made with recycled sea glass. Which do you choose? Which do you receive? Do you receive old recordings, a statue, or a painting that's made of recycled sea glass? And this morning when I was working on this, some new things showed up. Or actually, this was last night as I was going to bed, falling asleep. I saw, whoops, Lila. I saw as we were leaving the junkyard, there were people standing around burn barrels, and they were just laughing and joking and having fun. And there was this artesian well right next to the burn barrel, and we were offered a gift of a drink from this. So you're going to be gifted a drink from this artesian well, which is pure, beautifully pure water. And the pure water can be served to you either from a dipper with a really big long handle and they scoop in and dip it, or by a mug, like an earthenware mug, or a chalice. Which do you receive? This will have deep spiritual significance for you. Do you receive your drink of artesian well water from a dipper, an earthenware mug, or a chalice? Now, allow yourself just to be with that for a moment. And as you're experiencing that, allow yourself to say goodbye to the puppy, maybe you want, or the dogs, whatever, or the wolf, whatever you saw. You may want to give it a treat. And as you do, you're going to leave the junkyard and the gate closes behind you. And allow yourself to find your way back into the here and now, into this time and space. I'm going to take a deep breath in and exhale and recenter. And you may have had a sense of a feeling that this was more than just a junkyard, because it was. It had deep spiritual significance for you. The journey here is how to proceed in life from this moment on. What characteristics are you embodying now? What you're bringing into your life? What you're letting go of? So these are really important things for us to know. It's about reclaiming your true self. Your gate will have significance for you. The gate is how to receive new insight, this spiritual awareness, how to get to this expanded awareness and a higher level. So if your gate was wooden, it's asking you to try new things. Try new things. Try things that you haven't utilized before. That's the energy of a new gate. If it was a security, high-tech security electric gate, this is asking you to tap into your higher power. Tap into a higher level of energy. This is going to bring to you a new level of awareness that you haven't had before. And if it was the wrought iron, this is asking you to practice what you know. You know, we know stuff and then we just stumble through life and we forget. We forget we have tools. We forget we have the abilities to be insightful. So if it was a wooden gate, try some new things. Try some new stuff that you haven't done before. If it's the security gate, tap into a higher level of energy. And how do you do that? And you can do that by prayer. You can do that by meditation. You can do that by either trying new things or practicing the things you've already done. But this is asking you to do it at a higher level. Make sense? And then the wrought iron again is practice what you know. You know how to do this. You can do this. So keep doing what you're doing and apply it. Apply what you know. The dog that meets you is what helps you right now in this journey. If you're met by a wolf, this is asking you to trust those insights that you get Whether you're practicing the old stuff, learning some new stuff, or tapping into a higher level of awareness, trust what you get. Because you can't make this stuff up. Not really. So trust that. If you were met by a spirit dog, guard dog, this is letting you know that it's important for you to claim some spiritual protection here. How do you claim spiritual protection? You pray about it. You can utilize crystals. You can utilize ceremony. You can utilize a lot of spiritual tools here. And if your gate was wooden, try something new to create some spiritual protection for yourself. The biggest thing you can do to create spiritual protection for yourself is to stay out of the negative stuff, claiming that positive stuff. So, because if we slip into the other stuff, that's where darkness hides out. That's where the difficulty hides out. That's where the challenges hide out. Moving into the clearer, positive energy is the safe place to be. So choose safety. Choose that first. Don't do anything without making that shift first. Shift there first. If you received a puppy, playfulness. Start having some fun. What's fun? Sometimes when we're stressed out and struggling, we don't even want to have fun. What's fun? What's fun? What I used to enjoy, can't do that anymore. I don't even want to do that. I don't want to pull out my painting stuff. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get out my crochet stuff. Just too much trouble. Take a look at that. If you're not willing to have some fun, take a look at that. Because that means we're stuck. It means we're stuck in stuff that's sticky and takes a conscious, expanded awareness choice out of. And once we can get into that, then the delight of joyfulness can arrive for us. If you're directed to where to unload what you're tossing out, and this is how your burden feels for you, how all this stress is affecting you. If you are led to a pit, there's an emptiness here. That is your real challenge, the emptiness. Because we can fill that emptiness with the negativity, or we can fill the emptiness with positivity. And you're at a real point of choice here. If you're feeling empty, if you have this emptiness of your awareness. If you have been led to a hill or a heap, and you're going to dump your stuff into a hill or a heap, this is feeling overburdened, overextended, overworried, overworked, overexhausted, all of the overs. You're overdone. So this is letting you know that you're on overload about all of this. And it's imperative. Your shift is imperative. If you're empty, the shift is imperative. You're on overload, your shift is imperative. If you're moving into, if you've been directed to a place where it's just flat and you're just going to pitch it out, this is loss of enthusiasm. Oh my goodness. If you've lost that spark of joy, the shift is imperative. It's imperative. It's now. Take the shift now. So pay attention. So the pit was feeling empty. The hill or heap is being overloaded. And the flat is a loss of enthusiasm. All of those are requiring your attention immediately. Now, what you toss out lets you know that which is burdening you the most. So here's something that's burdening you the most. If you tossed out a brick, self-criticism. Oh, dang. We are so hard on ourselves, are we not? And not just that self-criticism, but also that blame and that shame and that regret and all the bitterness that comes with all of that. So that's weighing us down. That's heavy. You don't need to carry that anymore. So toss that out. It's ready to go. That's the other key here, is it's ready to go. The only thing it's keeping it is when we hang on to it. So you're ready to let that go. A bag of clothes, this is other people's opinion. Other people's opinion. One thing to be critical of ourselves, but it's a whole other thing to allow other people's attitudes and opinions affect and influence us. And we do. So if you tossed out a bag of old clothes, you're ready emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, you are ready to let go of other people's opinions of you. Now, this doesn't mean that we get to do whatever we want whenever we want and we don't care what people think. No. But we don't care what people think to the point that we're going to be stifled or broken. Their opinion can help us look at ourselves more clearly, but it's still our choice what we're going to do with ourselves, not theirs. It's our choice. It's taking back ownership of your own life and your own destiny. That's what that is. In broken furniture, this is old patterns that don't fit. You have an old pattern of fixing somebody else's worries, that's not going to fit for you anymore. You don't have the energy or the strength to do that anymore. They get to find their own way. You get to encourage them. One way to encourage another person to find their own way is to say, if anybody can figure that out, you can. I'll pray for you to find the answer to that. I bet you'll figure that out. I know you can. Letting go of old patterns. Maybe an old pattern is eating to comfort oneself, or maybe it's playing video games till all hours of the night until you're exhausted and can't think anymore because you're just wanting to shut out the world. Those patterns don't serve. And so if you tossed out a piece of broken furniture, this is reminding you that you've got some patterns that are active that it's time to let go of, that they're not serving you anymore. And how do you let go of them? You let go of them by embracing these positive energies that I was discussing earlier. Because in those, you have the courage to do something new. You have the hope to do something more fun. You have the enthusiasm. You have the flexibility to try something new. You have the calm and the compassion to come from a different place, to serve yourself on a higher level, and then serve others as well. Now, what you received from recycling, this has to do with what is being renewed for you. How to reclaim that, what you just noticed, what you just released, and how to reclaim for yourself a better life. If you received old recordings, this is bringing to you a renewed faith. Whatever your faith is, you get to have that renewed, restored, strengthened, because our faith is such a powerful tool for carrying us through dark things, is it not? So now you're receiving a renewed faith. You don't have to renew it. You can allow it to be renewed. Receive that gift. It's a gift. It's being blessed to you. If you had a statue that was from recycled materials, this is renewed hope, restored hope. You know, sometimes we just trudge one day to the next and we're just hanging in there, just doing what we got to do. But this hope allows us to look beyond the here and now and know that there's a really bright future. We may not understand what it is, we may not see it yet, but having the hope that our destiny is right here, ready for us, and we can step into it, having hope of that, having the hope of this higher calling, this higher experience of living. And if you did receive the sea glass, picture made out of recycled sea glass, doesn't that even sound pretty? This is new insights, new psychic awareness is being gifted to you right now. And this new awareness is going to grant to you the ability to perceive on a whole nother level. How wonderful is that? Now, drinking from the artesian well, this is a blessing that's being gifted to you by Spirit, by you just showing up, by you just being here. If you received your drink from the dipper, this is saying to you, you now drink deeply from the wellspring of love. Say that again. You now drink deeply from the wellspring of love. The earthenware mug, you now bring sacredness into everything you do. You now bring sacredness into everything you do. And the chalice, you now awaken to the calling to serve and be of service. You now awaken to a calling to be of service, or to serve. How beautiful is that? If you have any other questions about that guided meditation, type it up, send it to Mr. Phil, and I'll review that here in just a minute. Mr. Phil, if you'd like to join me for communion, please, sir. I think my coffee got cold again. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed sharing that.
I had a couple people say they couldn't hear you very well, so I wonder if maybe moving that to inside or something would help.
You tell me this now? How do I do that?
I don't know. Maybe, yeah, try that. Maybe pointing towards you a little bit more. Shouldn't matter, but, and nothing's different than it normally is, so I don't know.
I don't know. We're just doing the best we can here. Thank you for your input and endurance through all of the technical. Oh!
You want a straw?
Pretty much. Now this is waterlogged.
We'll share a cup.
We can share a cup, yeah. Communion. This reminds us, the good book says, whenever you do this, remember Jesus. He did the deal. He did the deal.
Yeah.
He was courageous. He was...
Doesn't matter what you believe in the Bible, if it good, bad,
doesn't matter.
Different, it doesn't matter.
He did the deal. He opened the door for us, and we can honor him for that. So join us in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of light, thank you for opening the door of ascension for us. Thank you for opening the door of awareness for us. Help us to walk in faith. Walk with us. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, it was less stale that way.
Yeah, like I say, mine's pretty stale.
Don't get about
I know,
yourself.
I'm good.
What can I say? Join us in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life. Help us to drink it in with joy and positivity. Help us to trust that you are opening doors for us and you are walking with us. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Go ahead.
Okay. I know, sacrilegious. What can you say?
What can you say? Okay, if you have any questions about your guided meditation,
I saw a couple.
okay, so Phil's going to go get on the phone and read to me because on this computer, it's just teeny tiny little words. We can't read that. So he's going to go back on the bigger screen and read that. Calling.
Yes.
Hello.
You?
So, what have we got?
Oh,
Oh, and donations.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Yeah, donations. There you go.
You know, yeah. What can I say? What can I say? It's much appreciated. Oh, Beth even posted a couple of days ago on one of the Facebook pages how to use Amazon Smile and donate that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So thank you, Beth.
Well, one way you do that is by actually buying your stuff on Amazon Smile. The cost is no difference to you, but the church gets a little bit of stuff of everything that you buy. Well, not everything but yeah, we get a percentage.
Yeah. So thank you.
Oh, and by the way, before I go any further, before I forget, Marcus found the like button.
Oh, we did.
Brock was asking if everybody would please say, "Hey, Marcus, dude, how you doing?"
So hey, Marcus, hey, dude, how you doing? And hit the like button. He'd like it. Okay. What we do for our kids, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Questions about the guided meditation, please, sir.
Okay, well, I saw something for Lori way back where, and now I can't find it. So, I saw something. We're up to Marcus. Kathy said from the recycle pile she received a phone, an old rotary.
Okay, so this is about communication. So this is going to allow you communication, clearer communication with your loved ones and clearer communication with spirit. So knowing that when you come from this place of compassion and courage and the ability to be encouragement, you're going to be able to communicate on a different level. Wonderful. Beautiful.
And Lori, she saw an iron gate, a mutt dog, a flat surface, and recycled sculpture in a tin cup.
Okay, you're going to have to do that slower for me.
Yeah, I know. An iron gate and a mutt dog.
Okay, so an iron gate. That has the same energy with it as practice what you know. It's that energy of you already know what you do. You already know how to do this. So keep on keeping on. And you saw a mutt?
Yep.
Okay, this is about reclaiming some spiritual protection here, but in a very gentle way. So there's no need to struggle or let that spiritual protection be there for you. That makes sense, I hope.
Recycled sculpture and a tin cup.
Okay, so that would be the statue made so that's rekindled hope. Your hope is being rekindled. And a tin cup, the tin cup was the other thing that I was going to choose, and it became the chalice. So the tin cup is the same energy as the chalice, which is you now awaken to the calling to serve. You've always been one to serve, but there's a new calling here, some new aspect of that destiny to be of service.
Okay. Sandy received a glass lamp with a cloth shave, which had a brilliant bright light coming out of it.
Okay, so that carries the same energy as the sea glass. So that's this new insight, this new enlightening information that's coming to you, that's going to guide you and enlighten you, bring you joy and awareness. What else?
Okay. I don't know if this is from Scott. He had an ornate iron gate, so I don't know if that was different from your other iron gate.
Nope, it's the same.
Okay. And a Rottweiler and an old friend.
Say what?
Oh, it said Rottweiler, an old friend.
Okay.
Oh, I assume that he means the Rottweiler was an old friend. I'm not. Oh.
Okay. So again, there's powerful protection here. That you don't need to do this for yourself. You don't need to gear up and guard yourself. You will have that spiritual protection so that you don't blindly walk into something that's not going to serve you, but at the same time you don't have to carry the need to have that self-preservation.
Okay, he's got a few more things here.
Okay.
A frosted cake of anxiety in a heap, and
Okay.
an old lock and key.
Wait. Frosted cake of anxiety. Okay, so this anxiety feels sweet, but it's an addiction. Like sugar is an addiction. And there's some sweetness to being anxious because we think we're doing something when we're anxious, but we're really not. So piling it into the heap is letting you know that you're feeling overburdened. So it's more than you can carry. This anxiety is more than you can carry. Give it to the Rottweiler. Chew it up and carry it away. And what else?
The old lock and key, and there's one more thing after this.
So an old lock and key, this is letting you know that you've got the key. You can open to this if you're willing. You already are willing. You already are open to it. So just know that it's here for you. Whatever new level that you're ready to ascend to, this is here for you and you're ready to do it. Okay?
And he drank from his cupped hands.
Oh, your own cupped hands.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, let me ask on that one. Okay, so you're drinking directly from spirit and healing yourself, and then you'll be able to share this with others. But this is that direct connection with Spirit. You are truly, truly connected in. So honor that connection. Have faith in that connection. Trust that connection. And be filled. So the blessing for you is you are now being filled with divine connection. Thank you, Scott.
Hello?
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, actually, there's a lot, so there's probably too much to go too much further on. I will do one more, and then you'll have to try to answer the rest of them, because there's a lot.
I'll get back online and answer you directly.
Okay, and Madison, though, had a chain link fence and a German Shepherd.
Okay, the chain link fence, that feels like the security fence that I was talking about. That was electric. Yours is not electrified, but this is letting you see where you want to go, but it's also keeping out the things that you don't want to have engaged in your life. So this is allowing you vision. So new vision, new awarenesses are coming, and you're safe to receive them. And the German Shepherd, this is, again, having that spiritual protection that you're longing for. It's there for you on more than one level. And I will get back to the rest of you and answer your questions specifically.
There actually were a lot of those other messages were actually, howdy, Marcus.
Hi, Marcus, yeah. Rightfully so.
But there were a few that Jan will get back to.
Okay, so I hope that really blessed your life. I hope that was supportive for you. And we love you. We sure do.
Miss everybody.
Miss everybody. Miss our music.
It was kind of interesting on the wedding yesterday, actually seeing a bunch of other people.
Wow.
They weren't keeping their distance. I was keeping my distance from them. But then they were tons of family, and it was nice just kind of being close to a bunch of other people.
We're connected.
Yep, we
Whether
are.
we know it or not.
Yep.
Left hand up. Right hand down. Let me do this. Every time. It screws me up every time. All right, so you're still connected. You still have that divine protection. You have that positive energy flowing through you right now. Allow that to enter your being. If you do back and forth between your own hands, bring that energy to the left hand and send it to the right hand. And this completes an energetic circuit. And that energetic circuit runs through the body, through your heart space, and in one hand and out the other. So the circuit is created here and connected here that allows you to amplify this divine energy that's being gifted to you. So you can receive it, send it, amplify it with your own intent in your heart space, and receive it and send it and let it build. Now there might be someone in your circle of influence that could use healing or comfort or encouragement. If you're mindful of them, they'll share in this energy with us. So all of our energy combined can be sent to whoever you are holding in your awareness. So just be mindful of them right now. Just connect in. Deep breath in and exhale to release them. We don't want any psychic backwash. Bringing fresh, bright energy in from that higher source into your heart space. Send it out your left hand, up your right hand, into your heart space, and down and around, and allow that to build. Build and build and build and build until it's big. And now, collect all you'd like to have in your world. Bring it into your heart space. And may your life be a prayer. God bless, and we will see you soon. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you Wednesday, Wisdom, 6:30. And we'll go from there.
Bye.
Love you much.
Have lunch.